Okay, so we couldn't go to PSARBA today, so we're having our own home show with our rabbits, some of whom wouldn't have been entered, but we're trying to have a full look. So I'm putting this solid senior doe in third place. She has nice width in her chest. She could have more bone, just kind of refined bone there in the front. She has ear control. She's pulling her ears back. Now she's mad. When she sits in the box, she relaxes her crown and she opens up her ear. But when she sits like this, they look creased. She slopes off. She's a beefy girl. She's very meaty all the way through, and she's consistent, but she just doesn't carry out over her top line like the does higher in the class. I wish she did. She starts really nicely off out of the top, but then she just slopes down. So she also lacks the substance of ear of the does that are placed above her. So top line and ear and bone are what put her in third for me. This doe is going to be second. It's fairly close actually for me between first and second. Beefy doe, thick bone in the front. Like the doe in third place, she creases her ear when you're handling her because she's irritated, but in the box she opens it up. She has slightly better substance of ear. It's well furred, it's thicker, and she has a better top line. She'll sit. She carries out better. Her color is terrible, but that's only 4 points in the standard. And her, she's a little bit rougher over the top. Her big thing is that she has really beefy shoulders, and her hindquarter is wide, but it's not wider than her shoulder because her shoulder's so beefy that your hand just barely widens as you go to the HQ, and I'd like it to be a little bit wider. She has a slip crown. And I'd like to see a little bit straighter ankle. The first place doe is in excellent flesh condition, and her coat is doing the full flyback, which helps her today. And now she's not gonna pose. All three of these does are wide in the front. That's not an issue for any of them. This doe also has very nice bone in her front limb. Her ankle's a little bit straighter. Could still be improved upon. She's nice and wide throughout her body, and your hand does expand as you go to her HQ. She has a nice full shoulder, not as beefy as the doe in second, but she's more balanced than the doe in second, and her top line carries better if she'll sit. Yeah. Okay. And again, when she's relaxed, she has, I think, the best substance of ear and the best furring of it on her ear. So she would be the first place doe for me. Now Grace is going to talk about why she would place them and how she would place them.
All right, let's start from the top and work our way down. We both selected the same first place doe. I think for probably the similar reasons, right? I think this doe is the best top line out of all. Oh, don't be doing that. I think she has the best top line out of them, the best ears, one of the best crowns. A little bit fed up this morning. And she's wide. No, she does pull her ears back, and she just lacks a little bit of width in her head. I would love to see more width between the eyes. However, yeah, my second place doe was different. This is my second place doe. But don't be doing that. I like her top line a lot more than the last place doe. Her crown is not as nice. I think she has a better ear, substance of ear and furring of ear compared to the first place doe, but not as nice of a head. And I would love to see less of an ankle on her. I think she's wider than the first place doe, but she loses on her top line. And her fur is just very today. My last place doe is our little Sable Point doe. She just has a very plain head. Her crown is quite slipped. It's lacking in a lot of areas. Her body, when you look at it from the side, she has a very low head mount. She has a tendency to not want to pose. She's wide, but that can only get you so far. Her ears are just blah, not a lot of substance, not a lot of fur. She's not in very good condition today. Fur is only 4 points, but it still counts for something.